Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hey guys, I'm back, and as you can see I'm looking a little bit healthier than my last video. This is an interim video. I'm going to do a larger video to be released tomorrow, which obviously takes a bit more time, but I saw something today in the news and last night that had me absolutely raging. Those of you that can probably guess, but yeah, my apologies in between the time of the last video. Basically I filmed it and I thought I was getting better. Fatal mistake. I didn't do anything in particular. I filmed it, but then it came back for one final hurrah, you know, really. So I ended up back in bed for 2 days. It's been absolutely horrific. Yeah, as I said, heat stroke, don't take it lightly, people. It's not nice. So what are the two stories that have really griped me? Well, one of them being obviously Finding Freedom has now been officially released, and this is what I will be covering in my next video. To say it's a bit of a puke fest is unbelievable, and for them to be saying they had nothing to do with it. Oh, the lies, you lie, you have liabetes. You know, they definitely are absolutely fibbing of how much control that they've had over this. But as I said, I'll go on to that to my next video. So one of the things that enraged me last night was the fact that Meghan has spoken about her marriage. They've said it her first marriage, but most of us know it's her second marriage. She was married before, but it was annulled. There's no paper trail because an annulment means it never existed. I don't know why I do that sometimes, little bunny ears. It's like you really mean the comment that you're saying. And I thought it was disgusting. I cannot believe that she has brought him into this book or think it was appropriate. He has stayed completely silent about their relationship. It was pretty obvious that she treated him like crap. The stories all came out how she had affairs behind his back with a hockey player. There was rumours of her having affairs with people on the cast of Suits. She dumped him and sent back the wedding rings in the post. I mean, how cold and callous can you get? But we've seen, you know, obviously this is the way that Meghan treats everybody in her life. I don't know whether he got an NDA. Whether he just went, do you know what, I don't want anything to do with this woman. He apparently had to pay her off to get out of the divorce a lot quicker. So that's how Meghan's got most of her wealth. Her fan base don't seem to get that she got a lot of that from divorce. But it's the fact that she's gone into great detail talking about why her marriage fell apart. Now, this book, Finding Freedom, is all to do with Meghan's brief journey into the royal family and her meeting Harry and her exit. She was in a long-term relationship when she met Harry with Corey Vitello, the chef in Canada. So it's understandable that Corey might have made it in there because, you know, well, she cheated on him to be with Harry. But the fact that she's brought up Trevor, I find it in such poor taste because he stayed absolutely quiet, but more to do with the fact that his wife, Tracy Curlin, his lovely new wife, very beautiful woman, he's definitely upgraded, she's pregnant. She's heavily pregnant. And what with the stress of, you know, the bug that's going round and everything else, that she thought it was appropriate. Now, don't tell me that they haven't signed off on this book, but to drag Trevor's name into it, how disrespectful and vile. And narcissist revenge. They think they own all of their exes. They are absolutely vile. I had grief off of my ex when I was getting married, and it is just absolutely unbelievable how she thinks that that's appropriate. But also this entire book, and I'll try not to go into my next video because I'm feeling a rant rearing up, but this entire book is just basically one big revenge on everyone that Meghan feels has ever wronged her. And I just couldn't believe that she dragged Trevor into it. Finding Freedom is all to do with Meghan, how she came and she rescued the poor suffocated prince and rescued him to LA on her white shining horse, being the absolute feminist that she is. What the hell is it her first marriage to do with Trevor? As I said, Corey was in between, plus countless other relationships. Why would you do that? So that riled me up. And today what's riled me up is the mansion. It's now been found out that she's not been doing Pilates with Adele. That's all been PR crap from her team to keep her relevant in the newspapers. They've not been filming from the basement in Tyler Perry's. They've been filming up against walls to trick everyone. They have apparently left Tyler Perry's mansion back in, I think it's the end of June, early July. Not so much as a public thank you for Tyler for lending him his property, for the fact that he sent his private jet to go collect them rescue them from Canada before the borders shut. No. Harry has publicly said, now this is one thing to say it in your head, but to publicly say it, and it's been basically posted all across media, that the mansion wasn't Harry's style. How unbelievably rude and ungrateful are this couple. I hope Tyler doesn't ever help them out ever again. They've purchased an £11 million house in Montecito, and her neighbours are now Oprah and Ellen, and you look at the pictures here, it is a palace. And where do I start with this one? One, they owe the British taxpayers the money, 2.4 million. If they can spend that sort of money, they can have paid that off first, and they should have done. Two, Charles has apparently helped out his son with this. And this I find shocking. One, the book, the treatment of his own mother, the threat that these two are to the actual monarchy, because people are now seeing if Charles has helped them with this, then, you know, he's only recently raised the rents up on his Duchy of Cornwall. But how bad does it look that he's basically chucked up all of the rent on all of the properties, all of the money he gets from Duchy of Cornwall to all the people that live and farm there, and then he's helping Harry and Meghan. They do not have this sort of money to blow £11 million on a mansion. However, some reports are saying they've got a mortgage on it. But why the hell do three people, well, if you count the baby as a third person, need a home that size? Bearing in mind they're eco-warriors that are so busy telling us what we should do, how we should travel, how we should live our lives. We need to come together as a planet. Hey, Harry. And they're spending this sort of money. The running costs for this mansion alone are near enough £300,000 or dollars. I can't remember where I read it. But a year. It's more than the normal person in the UK's home. Is Charles that arrogant after everything, the bad name that his brother, through his arrogance and his friendships, has brought onto the royal family, that Charles doesn't think that we're not going to be pissed about him helping them buy an £11 million mansion when they owe the taxpayers 2.4 million for the renovations, that ridiculous overpriced wedding? Okay, they've never agreed that they're going to pay that money back, but how disgusting is it? We're supposed to be hitting a bigger recession coming our way worldwide than the likes than we have ever seen. I read in one newspaper it's going to be worse than the Great Depression, you know, round about wartime. And that to me is alarm bells. Big mistake, big mistake. There is already more and more cries for people to vote out the monarchy. People are already screaming, you know, once Queen Elizabeth has gone, then what's the point in keeping them? And you've got to think there are elements of it, and I love the royal family. I've always loved Catherine and William. I love the Cambridges. I think they're a wonderful asset. I love Princess Anne. You know, I love Sophie, the Countess of Wessex. And I think there are good members of the royal family, really good, that do wonderful things. And then you got these two, and the fact that Charles seems to be deaf, dumb and blind to the public is going to be his undoing. He's waited his entire life to be king, and for him to be seemingly putting support behind them to buy this ostentatious, over-the-top, utterly vile size property, is just unbelievable, isn't it? How arrogant and ignorant, and just the whole thing. How entitled are Harry and Meghan after everything they've done? They barely worked. They barely worked when they joined the royal family. All they have done is complain about their lot in life. And here they are, finding freedom. And they've been living in this house since, you know, July, and all of the freebies that they get. They are still having security paid for by the British government. There's no way that I do not believe that we are not putting money towards them because of who he is. So yeah, that I really wanted to rant over. I know a lot of you guys are really angry about it, and it does beg the question. It really does beg the question. How much are the monarchy supporting them? Okay, because I know that they say that they don't say anything, and that's the thing that Harry and Meghan have gone against. But this is unbelievable when the world is in absolute crisis. That they think that this is going to help the monarchy's reputation, that they are obviously, if Charles is helping, it's still Harry, they are still linked. As long as they have their titles, they are still linked to the royal family. Whatever these two do are going to drag the monarchy down. And until they strip their titles, people like me, people like you, people like other taxpayers around the world, people are going to ask questions. And I really am getting frustrated now with the fact that they have not had their titles taken away from them. People keep saying, oh, it's because the Queen's going to take it away from them in March when she does the review. But is she? And this is the questions that I'm now beginning to ask with their deafening silence on all of this, that they're not commenting, they're not saying that Harry and Meghan have done this out of their own funds, because we know damn well they don't have that sort of money. So where are they getting that money? And then it's starting to make more questions where you think, well, okay, the royal family bring in so much millions of pounds a year, okay, but then when they're handing it out freely to not go to causes in our country, to now be paying for basically Meghan Antoinette and Hollywood Harry to be swanning it up with celebrity friends, to have a lifestyle of a celebrity that neither of them have earned. She was a D-list cable actress, and he is just an entitled prince that worked for 10 years of his life in the army. And that's been it. That's been it. And then they have got all of this. They are going to be keeping up with the Joneses. You need a house like that. You need the servants like that. You need the upkeep. All of the cars. And then, of course, with Meghan's demands for security, I mean, this house has got its own playground in it, a tea room. What the flipping heck? Well, we know what Meghan likes to do with teapots. She likes to launch them at members of staff. Maybe that's going to be her disciplinary room when she starts getting angry with her staff. Could you come in here, please, James the butler? Whack, have that. You didn't serve my dinner on time, or there was eggs in the omelette. You know, I read a post, and I'm going to finish this video on this because I thought it was absolutely perfect. I can't give credit to who it was because it was on the Daily Mail comments section, and they said that she and Harry are so disgusting with the way that they spend money that Marie Antoinette would probably slap them. And I absolutely believe that. And this is where I'm finishing my video on this, because I'm going to calm myself down and not have another coffee, and then get on to my Finding Freedom review. There's some corkers in it, so that'll be coming to you tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, brief as it is, but I'm glad to be back, and as you can see, I'm in my normal chipper mood. So I'll see you guys really soon. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.